Hi and welcome to the Cult TV Sofa. This is a reaction video of the 21st episode of Season 1 of Babylon 5 called The Quality of Mercy. Last time we saw Babylon 4 reappear in the same location that it disappeared from 4 years previously. They were sending out a distress message as the station was being shaken apart from the tachyon field it was caught in, and the crew were getting flashes from their past and future. Sinclair and Garibaldi went there with a number of support staff and shuttles to evacuate the station. Whilst there, the temporary commander of the station tells them that they captured a being that shouldn't be there called Zathras. Zathras tells them a story about the station being needed by the One to assist in a war between the light and the dark in a different time. A ghostly image of the One appears. Apparently he was out of phase with the station at that time. As they evacuate the station, Zathras is trapped by fallen debris and they have to leave him there. The station disappears when Sinclair and Garibaldi leave the tachyon field. We see a shot of a visibly older Sinclair wearing the blue spacesuit the One wore, and we hear the voice of Delenn, who appears to have been on the station as well. So let's see what happens in the next episode. I'm going to put any relevant trivia that I find over here, and at the end of the reaction I'll be discussing what happened and my thoughts about the episode. And I'm going to start it in 3, 2, 1.
You know, it occurs to me, we haven't spent much time together, you and I.
From birth, I was raised in the temple and studied the ways of the religious caste. 6 months ago, I came here. There is nothing else.
Starting tomorrow morning and for the next 2 days, I will show you the Babylon 5 that I know. Trust me!
Oh, no.
You were charged with the calculated and unprovoked murder of 2 of this station's residents, as well as the brutal and senseless slaying of a security officer. Sentence will be handed down at 10 a.m. tomorrow, Earth Standard Time.
Oh, when you said the sentence will be handed down, I assumed whatever the sentence is would be applied, but it actually means he'll just get whatever the sentence is will be applied. I haven't seen jails on Babylon 5, and it wouldn't make sense to have anything like that. Obviously, have a holding cell. So I would assume. I mean, I don't know if they have the death penalty either. I would assume if someone's sentenced to a serious crime for many years of sentence, they'd be shipped back to Earth. You wouldn't keep them on the station. It's just using up valuable resources. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out.
I'd like to see the doctor. The line forms at the rear. I'm sure it does. Oh, I'm sorry. Please go right in. I'll buzz the doctor.
All right, thanks.
Why not in
You
medbay?
start by removing your clothes.
Not without dinner and flowers.
Med labs aren't free. Not everyone can afford to come for treatment.
Okay.
This is a free clinic.
It's certainly for operations.
He's using medbay equipment.
Look, I don't mind if you bend the rules a little, Doctor. I mean, I bend a few myself.
Just tell her.
But I do like to be informed.
So, just pause in a sec. Now, this this is a huge subject, healthcare, and I don't know much about the American healthcare system. In the UK, we have the NHS. We all pay into it through our taxes, and it is then free. Obviously, we pay through it through taxes, but we don't obviously notice it because the money just comes out as part of our normal tax system. But if ever we're sick, ill, need any kind of help, we can just dial 999, visit a hospital, and we never pay anything else. It's all included as part of the National Health Service. Now, in America, I don't think it works like that. I know that you have your hospitals and you have to pay for all your treatments. It is obviously encouraged that everyone should have insurance so that you're not hit with huge bills. I know you still have to pay something, but you're not hit with like 30, 40, 50, $100,000 bills, which I know can happen. for serious problems. And I know a lot of people don't have health insurance because it costs money. But I do think you have free clinics as well. I think there are some clinics that are set up. I would assume they're set up as a charity, so that people can go there, and I would assume they have to pay an amount for medicines and things. But I should think in general it was certainly significantly cheaper than going to a hospital, which it seems weird to me, having been brought up that with free medicine. It's odd that you'd have to pay for it directly and to that extreme. So it looks like Dr. Franklin, he is the head of medicine on Babylon 5. He has set up a free clinic in the poorest part of the station, so that people can go there and get free, well, certainly free diagnostics. And I assume, depending on what the treatment is, free treatment, because otherwise they have to pay to go to med lab. So it's obviously based on the American system of medicine. But he is using med lab equipment by the looks of it, and is he using med lab medicines as well, which is then getting into a bit of dodgy territory. Yeah, not sure about that. That gets a bit more tricky. But Ivanova has obviously found out about it, and she seems to support a free clinic. But like she said, she doesn't want him to go behind her back. She just wants to know what's going on. She forewarned is forearmed, and now she's even got as far as being roped into actually helping. So she's completely complicit in it now. And if she knows about it, does Sinclair know about it? And is she going to tell him about it? Well, that puts her in an awkward position now, because she should really. I'm going to assume Garibaldi knows about it, because he knows about everything that goes on the station. From a security point of view, he'd know about that. But yeah, they're keeping Sinclair in the dark. Let's find out.
Say we space the creep. A couple hours in hard vacuum will do him and the gene pool a world of good.
Okay, talking about punishment.
This wasn't the first time for this guy, Commander. He's done this before.
Not being caught.
I bet good money.
That's weird that they're talking about what the punishment should be. I'm sure there'd be set guidelines.
There are only 3 penalties legally open to us. The first option is to send him to a prison, back to Earth.
Okay, yep.
They don't want him, and they won't pay the money to send him anywhere else.
And there isn't room in the
can't
brig for the
say
perps
no.
we've got now, let alone
No.
putting somebody away for life.
Which leaves us only option 3.
Maybe while you're inside his head, you can poke around, see if this guy's killed before.
Ooh, no.
Anything a telepath sees whilst inside a defendant's mind is inadmissible evidence.
Yep, rightly so. I seem to be pausing loads in Babylon 5 in particular. They always tackle such big subjects with such big questions. So, they said there were 3 options. Ship him back to Earth, and they said that Earth won't take him. Well, surely they wouldn't have a choice. There would be set guidelines and procedures to follow, especially for something like this. Because option 2 is to keep him in the brig, and you can't keep somebody. That's like forming a jail on Babylon 5, and you can't. There's no resources to do that. They would have to send him back to Earth. That's the only real option. I don't get what the third option was. It was something to do with being a telepath, but I don't know what the actual punishment was. But yeah, you can't fish around in his mind. And he rightly said that anything a telepath sees is not admissible as evidence in his mind, partly because you can't prove it. The telepath could make up what they're seeing. there's no way of verifying it. It's just their word against his, so it rightly shouldn't be used as evidence. The only time I could ever see a valid justification, which is obviously going on a dangerous ground, is if there was like somebody missing, or they're trying to find a body or something, going into the mind and seeing if the other person who's I was going to say accused of doing it, but you can't if they're just accused. They have to be found guilty of something. But oh yeah, it's such a minefield, isn't it? Yeah, it's such a big subject. Let's carry on for now. I think I'll be coming back to this in a bit from the telepath side of things. I think we'll see more of the story.
Well, I've been hearing about some kind of quack practicing medicine without a license. Cross between a faith healer and a sideshow medicine man. Or woman in this case.
Well, this should begin to decrease the growth.
How will I know if it worked?
Well, you'll know.
That's not great. They could just walk in on a medical treatment.
This is,
Alien.
In other words, you don't know what it is, or what it does, or even if it works at all.
It's good for ailments of the flesh, the blood, and the bone. Doctor, my mother isn't hurting anyone.
Yes, she is, if she's discouraging people from seeking proper treatment.
If someone's doing if someone's doing untested medical treatments, if he's right, if it's not proven to be helping, if it's like a placebo effect, that's bad because people won't go and get proper treatment. And also she's got some random alien technology that they don't know what it is or what it does. I would have thought that would be stopped as bulky equipment. Surely these things are checked when they come on board. I mean, allowing just some random equipment. It could be a bomb for all they know, or some sort of serious equipment. I'm amazed it's allowed on.
Under the authority of the Earth Alliance Court, I cannot sentence you to death.
So they don't have death penalty.
Therefore, it is the decision of this court that you be sentenced to the death of personality. The personality of Carl Edward Mueller will be totally and completely erased. You will then be programmed with a new set of memories.
Fair pausing this more than I'm watching it. Death of personality. Is that any different from actual death? Him as an individual will no longer exist. He's going to be a different person, different memories. Is there a difference between the death penalty and death of personality? Really? I'm trying to think, is it more humane? I actually don't think there's a difference. The only difference is you don't have a body to dispose of. You just create, from what you just said then, you're creating someone who's, I suppose, going to be good. You've got to give them good memories, make them a good person. Someone who's going to be productive in society. But that just seems just as harsh to me as a death sentence. So much stuff comes to my head, and I can't think how. It's all jumbled at the moment. I can't put it into a cohesive sentence or paragraph or lecture. I'll carry on for now. Give me 5 seconds. I'll pause again. I'm sure.
I need some information on a woman by the name of Laura Rosen. She's running a questionable operation in down below.
Illegal?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
It's right. He involves security. It is a security matter.
Sit.
I think I'd be as uncomfortable as Lydia there.
Alcohol? No, of course not. Here, drink up.
Because my people do not react well at all to alcohol.
There's alcohol in there.
Even a small quantity causes psychotic impulses and violent homicidal
Take the glass.
Someone died. When they took away her license, they took away her reason for living.
Then one day she decided that if she could find some new alien healing technology, she could come back.
That means she's doing this without a license.
And I began to specialize in probability.
As in determining the odds of something happening?
Let's go to the casino.
I want to introduce you to the ultimate means of interstellar understanding. The Earthers call it poker.
Definitely a game of statistics. I can play poker, but I'm not very good at it. I can never remember all the different combinations. There were times I'd won, and I didn't even realise I'd won.
I'm here to perform the court-ordered scan prior to brain wipe.
Scan prior to brain wipe? What's the scan for?
Take away my thoughts, my memories, everything that makes me me, so they can put me to work for the rest of my life, mopping floors.
So, is he right? Well, after he's been wiped, is he put to use cleaning the floors, doing remedial work, basically? And from the way he's saying it, that's going to be his life, that's it. Which kind of means it's a sentence. He's been sentenced to work like that, even though he's going to have a new personality. He'll basically be a different person. That other person is being sentenced to that life. And I would assume they're not going to be able to do anything else. That's going to be it for the rest of their life. So the personality that committed the crime will be gone, and a brand new personality is going to be carrying out the sentence. It just seems so wrong on so many levels. Must be horrible to go in someone's mind like that. I find it bad enough going into my mind. Wouldn't want somebody else going in there. Scary place.
Another voice for the choir.
Another voice plus the 2 lurkers you killed.
For the choir, more.
Oh God, no! How many?
A lot.
Interesting. Do you know that the odds of this particular combination are 5,000 to 1 against?
They all fold.
There. How is the pain? Less.
Why is that door not locked?
It looks as though I was wrong. This device of yours is more than what it seems. It does heal, doesn't it? It transfers energy from one being to another, doesn't it? You give up a little of your life for someone else.
Criminals who were sentenced to death on different worlds had their life energy removed, and that energy was used to heal others dying of terminal illness.
I can't remember. Pausing again. Off the top of my head, I don't think I'm against the death penalty, though, in general. But, I mean, the justification normally is for not having the death penalty is exchanging one life for another. You don't gain anything, nothing happens. But this device, killing the person who's committed the crime, literally gives life to people who are terminal. So it really is a life for a life. And that's such a different spin on things. With our current methods, you've lost a life, there is no gain. With this device, you lose the life of the criminal, murderer. Let's stick with the severity, the murderer. And innocent, I would assume they are innocent people, gain life. That's a harder thing to say no to go against the death penalty, isn't it? That's a real moral quandary when you throw that into the mix. Again, I can't believe there are so many big subjects in this episode to think about. Carry on for now.
I'm dying anyway. It's Lake syndrome. If I can figure out how this works, then I can adjust it so it needn't hurt the person administering the treatment.
That's a powerful machine. God, think about the effect that could have on medical advancement. Having volunteers just give them a little bit of their life force to save people who are seriously ill. Multiple people, not just one person, just having it spread out across multiple people. They can't let this medical device be used in this way without doing proper tests on it. Who knows what the long-term effects are of its use and its cure.
Finished with Wheeler?
Yes. Enough for a comparison scan after he's been blanked.
Okay. That's the reason for the scan. A before and an after.
The things that live inside us, Mr. Garibaldi. Terrible things.
I think we all have, I wouldn't say a dark side, we all have things in our minds that are just in our minds that we don't, obviously wouldn't act on or anything, I think. This is where everyone says, nope, just you. I think, okay.
Nah, heading up, Luke.
Garibaldi to maintenance!
How can security be so incompetent? They have been in every episode.
2. You raised 3. And I'll raise 3.
Is it cold in here, or is it just me?
So he's feeling the cold of the jugs. Is that part of him?
What the hell? You cheating!
Okay.
This is not good.
And what happened to the prisoner?
He was hurt. A PPG flashed him just before he jumped me.
Oh, I wonder where he's gone.
Tell Mr. Garibaldi I'm going down to Brown 27G. If he doesn't hear from me in 20 minutes, tell him to send in a team.
Surely he's got a communicator on his hand, though. Why don't he speak to Garibaldi directly himself on the way? Something that important, I'd want to speak to Garibaldi myself. Wouldn't rely on somebody else to pass on that message.
Laura?
Aha.
That agony, that's Lake's syndrome.
So she's transferring all her pain to him.
He's dead.
The shock of it all at once.
It is the judgment of this court that Laura Rosen acted in self-defense.
Yes.
To protect her own life as well as the lives
But it
of
makes
others.
sense that she would be tried for it.
That the alien device used in this action is turned over to station personnel so that it may be researched more
Yes,
fully and to
that would
ensure
have to happen as well.
that it is not misused.
Look at this is hopefully the last pause. So from what happened then, she sent her pain, illnesses and problems to him. Now, that sounds different to what its intent is. She's been sending her life force to someone to heal them, and its original intent was no, yeah, you just flipped them around. You'd have the criminal sitting where she is and giving their life force. I was thinking it through the wrong way round. It was never mentioned that you can actually have someone sat there and send their pain and problems to someone. That's quite inhumane, and that doesn't make sense that the machine could do that. I can understand giving your life force to someone to make them feel better, but not to send your pain and problems to someone else. That doesn't make sense, and I don't think it would do that. That just seems a convenient thing they've done in the episode. It doesn't make sense, that bit.
I'm free of pain. I'm free from Lake
So
syndrome.
it did transfer her illness.
You did the right thing, darling.
She did, but
I did the necessary thing. That is not always the same as the right thing.
okay, that's a good way of putting it. And as a doctor, I can understand. Yeah, that's difficult. Dr. Franklin is a little bit more fluid on those kind of decisions, though, isn't he?
We've identified the two culprits.
Really? Who are they?
What?
The incident in question was completely my responsibility, Commander.
Whoa, he's covering for him. And Londo knows it.
Why?
In Minbari culture, we are taught that it is an honor to help another save face.
But the Len
will know better, but will not inquire out of respect.
Yeah, that's true.
A part of you reached out for the cards?
Yes, yes.
What was that?
Did you think these were just decorations?
Oh.
I'm going to take a vow of silence concerning this.
And a shower. Flippin' heck, it reached across under the table.
Well, the first thing is to study it, find out how and why it works.
Definitely.
Volunteers who can donate a little life energy
Exactly.
the way people used to donate blood.
Don't rely on one person, multiple people giving a little bit.
Somewhere out there is what I need to redeem myself.
You don't need to.
Yes, I do. And I'm going to find it. I'm all packed. My cruiser leaves in half an hour.
It's a bit like what the Minbari were going to do at the end of his life. I can't remember his name, Dral. He was going to go out to the stars. Okay. That was a really good episode. Huge subjects to deal with. Normally they tackle one an episode. There were a few in this one. Some of the big ones. To be honest, I talked about it so much during the episode. I don't know what to say at the end. I feel quite drained from this one, to be honest. I think it was right that the machine shouldn't be used where it was being used, the way it's being used. It needs to be tested and examined. I'm not completely sure the doctor's the right person to do that. It would need a team of people, scientists, really to examine it. Probably better off going back to Earth to be looked at properly. I don't know. But it certainly should be completely examined. I mean, if it does work as explained, they might be able to reproduce it, and I say it would just revolutionise medical care. So, yeah, I still don't quite understand that transmitting the pain bit. That doesn't make sense. I mean, that criminal, the murderer, well, from what we saw, does not look like a good guy. So I'm not particularly upset that he's dead. But obviously, in these circumstances, always make sure we've got the right person. I think we have in this case. I think the right person did die. But that's the problem with the death penalty, isn't it? Has the right person been sentenced? Are they guilty? Because people have been found innocent after they've been sentenced, and if a death penalty is carried out and then they're found innocent, you can't bring them back. Well, maybe you can in Babylon 5, who knows. Yeah, so I'm not going to bore you anymore because I spoke a lot in this one. Let me know what you thought about this one in the comments below, and we have one more episode to go of the season, and then on to season 2. So I shall see you for the last episode of season 1 next week. Be seeing you.